All right, it's 4 o'clock, so why don't we get started with today's webinar? Today's webinar will be how to add recurring transactions in your TruckLogics account. I'm your host. My name's James Koger, and I work business development for TruckLogics, the #1 TMS out there. Today, we're going to talk about recurring deductions and expenses, expense transactions, deductions in your driver settlements, how to edit, delete, or disable those. And when it's all said and done, we're going to have a brief Q&A. During today's live demonstration, we're going to show how to set up recurring expenses and deductions under the Accounts tab, as well as demonstrating how to edit, delete, and disable these deductions. I'm going to start now with my demo account here. And as always, anytime you sign in to your TruckLogics account, you're going to come up with the dashboard. And to add recurring transactions, you come across the top, past the Loads tab, the Dispatch tab to the Accounts tab. And when you get the drop down on it, you come down to the Expense Transactions and you click on that. Now, when we get here, we can see partway down the page, we've got a button over here that says Add Expense. So we can click on that. And it gives us a choice here of adding fuel expenses, other expense, or a recurring expense. So we're going to click on Add Recurring Expense. Okay. And the recurring expense page here tells us that we need to give our recurring expense a name. So we'll put in, how about truck payment? Truck payment. The frequency of this payment will be yearly, monthly, weekly, or daily. Let's say monthly. How about on the 15th of each month, of each 1 month? And our starting date would be October 15th. You can put an end date on this, how many payments you're going to make, or through what month and year are you going to make it. So we click on that, and right there you can choose your month, or if you click after, you could put 60 payments. Okay, who's going to be paying this? How about if I pay it? James, there we go. What mode of payment? A funds transfer. How much am I paying each time? Let's say $1,000. All right. And my expense category, let's say truck payment. So there we go. And we can, and we need to pick a unit number. I'm paying on unit number 4. Why not? So we hit save. And there we have a recurring expense. Now, if we want to add another one, all we do is click on it again and say this time it's going to be truck insurance. This will be paid monthly on the 1st of every month, starting November 1. Select the payee again, that will be me. No end date on that. We'll pay that with a check and the amount of, say, $400 a month. Expense category, insurance, truck, right there, paid by James, unit number 4. Okay. So now when we look at these, we see that I've got 2 recurring expenses here, truck payment and insurance payment. We can go back with these buttons here and edit them. If you click edit right there, you can go back and change anything you want to change. You can hit the delete button and just knock it out of there completely. You can disable it and say, for now, we're not going to make this payment. It's not ready. It doesn't have to go right now. Or you can enable it once you disable it. Or if you click on this button, it will make the expense transaction today. So you can do that as well. All right. That's how you set up recurring expense transactions. Now, if you want to set up a recurring deduction for a driver settlement, same thing from anywhere on TruckLogics, doesn't matter where you are. If you can get to the accounts tab, you can do it. You hit the driver settlement. And come over here to the left and it says recurring deductions. So you hit recurring deductions. Right here, I've got a couple of drivers, so we already have deductions set up. Let's say we're going to add one in for me. So we put add recurring deduction, recurring deduction name. How about ELD rental? Monthly, weekly, yearly, or daily. We'll just say we'll do this weekly, every Sunday, starting the 15th. No end date. Could do it for a few years. We could do it for several payments, but we're just going to make this one indefinite. Driver's name, James. There I am. And let's say that's $15 a week. And you hit save. Well, there we go. That shows us that when you do a driver settlement, I'll have once a week a $15 fee coming out for my ELD rental. Now, should you decide that somebody's got a driver settlement coming and maybe you want to edit how much they're going to pay, or maybe you're going to give them credit for, one of their deductions. We'll go down here to Andy and as an example, and we'll hit make payment. You come to the accounts tab, hit driver settlement. When they come up, hit the make payment button. And as we go down the list here, we see that there's 4 dispatches that Andy hasn't been paid for yet. And he's got ELD rentals here that total $135. Say, for instance, we're going to just pay Andy for the oldest dispatch that he worked for us, which is $300. Right there's his balance of $300 minus his deductions. We'll leave him $165. But say 2 weeks out of that, he didn't work. And so he doesn't have to pay his ELD rental for the week that he doesn't work. And if that happens, you come down here and you click on one of the ELD rentals, you hit the X for remove, and then you get the option of remove the deduction or skip for the next settlement deduction. So on this one, we're just going to hit remove. And now he's at $120 where he was at $135, but he was off for 2 weeks. So we're going to remove one more and he's down to $105. Let's say we're going to move one of them to his next settlement. We skip for his next deduction and he's down to $90. And at this point, we go back up and look. He had a $300 balance owed to us, or we owed to him. Now his ELD rental's at $90 and his payment will be $210. And then we can come down here. How are we going to pay him? We can pay him with a check and hit save. And there he goes. Andy's paid and his deductions are taken care of. So that is how we add recurring transactions in TruckLogics. Really a very simple process. As long as you can get to the accounts tab, your expense transactions, or your driver settlements, you can set up those recurring transactions. So next week, on the 19th of October, Amber's going to be doing the next webinar on managing your income and expenses, streamlining your finances. This is the rest of our October schedule. On the 26th, we're going to have a webinar on accounts and reports in TruckLogics. So those are two more really informative webinars for you to look forward to. While you're out there, make sure you sign up for your free 15-day trial of TruckLogics, the #1 TMS on the market. Nothing like a free 2 weeks to get your feet wet and learn what TruckLogics is all about. Anytime you need to reach us at TruckLogics, you can get us. We're located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've got a wonderful support staff there, always ready to take your call. They can be reached at 704-234-6946, or you can reach them on the support email at support@trucklogics.com. And also be sure to follow us on social media with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and always look for our videos on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for participating in today's webinar, and we hope to see you next week.